All right, let's get a look at the print station or the print head on the Anatol Titan press. Again, this is very similar to a lot of the Anatol presses and has some features that are similar to other machined screen printing presses. This is what's called a chopper style print assembly chopper because the squeegee blade and the flood bar go straight up and down in a chopping motion. Let's start with the stops. There's a stop in the front and a stop in the back, and so by loosening this clamp you can slide the stop forward and backwards, so you can shorten up your print stroke to match the design you have. If you're just printing a small little design, your squeegee carriage only has to travel a short distance. The micro registration on the Titan is the same as it is on most of the Anatol presses. It's a true 3-point registration. There are a couple of nice grid boxes with a pointer, and so you have a nice reference about where you're starting and where you're adjusting to. The way the adjustment works is you loosen a clamp in the back and a clamp in the front, and then you use the knobs to move the screen. This knob will move the screen sideways, the front of the screen sideways. This knob will move the rear of the screen sideways, or the knob in the front will move the screen in and out. So between those three knobs you have true 3-point registration. That's pretty well proven thing in the industry. It works real well. Let's talk about the squeegee holders real quick here. Anatol has what's a quick release style squeegee holder. You just give the lever a pull forward, insert your squeegee blade, let it go, and your squeegee is held captive. It's the same style in the back. There's a lever there, and you give it a pull forward, insert your flood bar, and let it go, and it's held captive. The flood bar and the squeegee angle are set by loosening these toolless clamps here. There's a machined surface here that's gauged in 5-degree increments between 0 and 30. So as you tilt the flood bar, you can keep track of what angle you're running at. There's no air pressure on this machine right now, so the choppers move up and down real easily. I'm going to hold this one up so you can see the metered scale on the chopper here. That moves in increments. I'm not sure if it's in millimeters, or if it's in tenths of inches. But in any case, to adjust the downward pressure on your squeegee blade, you simply turn the click stop as many turns as you need. Has a nice positive feel to it. You can hear it. You can keep track of what your settings are here and use those same settings over and over again. With this style, you have four adjustments. You can, on your squeegee, you can set the downward pressure on the right-hand side of the screen and on the left-hand side of the screen. And then, of course, in back, you have the same adjustments for the flood bar. The downward pressure on the left-hand side of the screen and on the right-hand side of the screen. Let's get a look underneath now. On the underside, you can see there's a nice machined track that the squeegee carriage rides forward and backward on. Here's the bearing block that rides on that. It's nice and smooth. Looks like it'd be very, very low maintenance, and so I think this is a real good design. There's some nice little dampers here. I'm not sure if this is a hydraulic device or a pneumatic device, but you can see as the squeegee carriage comes forward, it strikes this, and that slows down the squeegee carriage and it dampens the impact, so it just reduces the wear and tear on the press. There's one of those on both the front and the rear squeegee stop, or print station stop. And on the front of the print arm, my lighting's bad here, so you're probably getting a bad look at this, but there are a pair of air regulators here. One regulator for the flood stroke, one regulator for the print stroke. So by turning this regulator, you can pinch off the airflow and reduce the speed of travel for the flood stroke or the print stroke, or conversely, you can open up the air port and let it travel faster. From what I've observed so far, this machine can definitely print shirts faster than I'll ever be able to load them. And I think that's fairly true of most automatic presses. Most machines move pretty darn fast. The Titan has a little smaller tubular steel on the print station, So the stroke cylinder is mounted underneath this white cover. There's just a few fasteners that would need to be removed, and you could remove this white cover to get at your stroke cylinder and replace that when the time comes. I don't anticipate having to do that anytime soon, but it looks like it'd be a very easy thing to do when the time comes. This particular press I ordered with pneumatic air screen clamps. So there is a manual clamp on both sides, but in addition to that, there's a pneumatic clamp in the front and the back, and those clamps are activated by the toggle switches here. I don't have the air pressure on here. Later on I'll turn some air on, power up the press, and so you can see these operate, but it's just a simple little device. You just flip it and it will cause the cylinder to go up and down and clamp or unclamp the press. So that's pretty much the print head in a nutshell. Let's talk real quickly about a couple other small features. You can, it has side clamps for holding your screens. You can make some minor adjustments here there's a left hand clamp and a right hand clamp, and so you could narrow up the space in between here. I'm not sure what the maximum distance that you could get in here. I know it's at least 21 inches, and so I'm hoping that 21 inches would work just fine with a Newman frame. I haven't tried that yet, but I think it probably will be okay. As far as safety devices on the press, you can see that in between the print stations, there's a real nice safety bar. So anytime you're working in between the two stations, you want to operate that safety bar, push it in, and that will keep the press from activating and rotating and getting you pinched in between there. These safety bars have a real nice positive feel to them. You can tell, where they are. The operator's control station on the front monitors the status of these, so every time you move one of these into the trip position, it will indicate that on the display of the operator station. That's a nice feature. And then on the on both sides of the load-unload station, there is also another safety bar and a skip shirt switch. So this one has a skip shirt switch on both sides because this press, being servo, will rotate both ways. So if you're operating in automatic mode and you don't get your shirt placed in time, and rather than sending it around the press rotation and having the print come out bad, you just give the switch a quick press, and it will take that particular pallet out of print mode for the rotation around the machine, and so when your shirt comes back around, you'll have a chance to get it straightened back out on the pallet. So I think I'm running up against my time limit here for YouTube as far as length of video. So I think I'll call it quits right here, and we'll in a later video we'll fire up the machine and watch it go around.